Welcome to Chasing Curiosity TV. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The wind has always shaped Batan, its homes, its landscapes, and the very rhythm of daily life. For centuries, the people here have built their lives around the relentless gusts, adapting their architecture and traditions to withstand nature's force. Its people, resilient and proud, have passed down stories of survival and harmony with the land, forging a unique identity that has endured through generations. But now, a new wind brings the noise of construction and the tension of global politics. The quiet hum of daily life is interrupted by the clatter of heavy machinery and the presence of unfamiliar faces. Once a symbol of isolation, Batanes is now at the center of an international standoff. The world's gaze has shifted to these remote islands, once overlooked, now thrust into the spotlight. Its location, just south of Taiwan, places it in the crosshairs of China, Taiwan, and the United States. What was once a quiet outpost is now a strategic chess piece in a high-stakes game. The pace of life is quickening, military projects are underway, foreign soldiers are arriving, and the familiar faces of neighbors are joined by uniformed strangers. The islands are being transformed into a potential front line. Airstrips are lengthened, ports expanded, and the landscape is reshaped to serve new, uncertain purposes. New structures rise, signs of a renewed US-Philippines alliance. The partnership is visible in every concrete block and every flag that flutters in the wind. Batanes is now a strategic asset in the South China Sea, its peace traded for fortification. Checkpoints and patrols have become part of the new normal. For the Ivatan people, this is a time of uncertainty. Caught between new jobs and the fear of becoming a target, some see opportunity while others worry about the risks that come with militarization. Ancestral lands are being repurposed for military use, and the connection to the land that has sustained families for generations is now under threat. Meanwhile, warnings from Beijing grow louder, echoing across the sea and adding to the sense of unease. China sees the US military presence as a threat, and tensions simmer just beyond the horizon, making the future even more unpredictable. The people of Batanes feel the weight of geopolitics pressing down on their small community as global powers debate their fate from afar. They must protect their culture and way of life, even as the shadow of conflict grows. Festivals and traditions continue, but always under watchful eyes. The world is watching, wondering if Batanes will remain peaceful or become the next casualty of great power rivalry. News crews document every change, amplifying the island's story to a global audience. The transformation is visible everywhere, and the stakes have never been higher. The land, once untouched, now bears the marks of rapid change. The Ivatan now face a future they never asked for, hoping the storm on the horizon will pass them by. Each day brings new questions and few answers. Their challenge, to navigate global tensions while preserving their unique identity. The next generation must find a way to honor their heritage amid uncertainty. In Batanes, the winds of change are impossible to ignore. The future is uncertain, but the spirit of the Ivatan endures, standing strong against whatever storms may come. Before the world's gaze ever turned to these remote islands, Batanes was a haven of tradition and resilience, quietly thriving at the edge of the Philippine archipelago. The Ivatan people, shaped by centuries of storms and solitude, built sturdy stone houses with thick kogon grass roofs, ingeniously designed to withstand the fiercest typhoons that swept across the land. Life here moved with the rhythm of the seasons. Fishermen braved the unpredictable Bashi Channel in their small tataya boats, while farmers patiently tended fields of garlic and sweet potatoes. Community was the heartbeat of daily life, binding everyone together. The payuhan system, a tradition of mutual aid, meant neighbors always helped each other rebuild after storms. Doors were left unlocked, a symbol of trust, and elders were revered as living libraries of wisdom, their stories and legends passed down through generations, keeping the spirit of the past alive in every home. Isolation preserved Ivatan culture and kept the islands pristine. For decades, flights were rare, visitors even rarer, and the land remained untouched, its rolling hills and dramatic coastlines unmarred by crowds or modern sprawl. Self-sufficiency and quiet pride defined the Ivatan people, their identity shaped by the relentless wind and the ever-present sea, forging a deep connection to the land and water. Spirituality was woven into every aspect of life. The mountains, ocean, and sky held meaning, guiding daily rituals and offering comfort in times of hardship. Honesty thrived here. Unmanned coffee shops trusted customers to pay what they owed, a testament to the community's integrity and mutual respect. This was a place where simplicity and trust flourished, far from the rush and noise of the modern world, where people found contentment in the everyday. Now, that peaceful heritage stands in stark contrast to the presence of military drills and growing global tension, as the world's attention turns to these once quiet shores. The old Batanes lingers in memory, even as change sweeps the islands and new realities reshape the landscape. The question remains, can this unique way of life, built on trust, resilience and community, survive the challenges of a rapidly changing world? Today, Batanes is changing fast. What was once a quiet, isolated archipelago is now at the center of rapid transformation. The gentle sounds of wind and birds are now mixed with the constant roar of heavy machinery and the clatter of construction. Basco's airstrip is expanding, its runways being lengthened and reinforced, ready to accommodate not just commercial flights but also military transport planes. New barracks, depots and communication towers rise alongside the centuries-old homes of the Ivatan, changing the familiar skyline. On Batanes Island, a state-of-the-art naval outpost with high-tech surveillance now keeps a constant watch over the Bashi Channel, a vital maritime passage. Ports are being dredged and expanded to welcome larger ships, including powerful naval vessels that now dock where only fishing boats once did. Warships on the horizon serve as a daily reminder to local fishermen that their familiar waters are now part of a much larger global contest for control. The military presence grows with each passing week. More soldiers, more drills, and a growing sense of uncertainty among the islanders. US and Philippine troops now conduct joint exercises here, simulating defense operations and amphibious landings on Batanes' once peaceful shores. For the Ivatan people, soldiers in uniform have become a daily sight, blending into the routines of market days and community gatherings. Concrete and steel are steadily replacing stone and thatch as modern buildings rise and begin to overshadow the traditional Ivatan houses. The transformation is more than just physical. It's a profound shift in the island's very identity, culture, and sense of place. Batanes is no longer just a remote paradise. It has become a strategic outpost, standing at the crossroads of history and geopolitics. Why is Batanes suddenly so important? Geography. Just 150 kilometers from Taiwan, Batanes is a critical piece in any conflict over the island. It guards the Bashi Channel, a vital shipping lane and digital artery for Asia. Control here means influence over global trade and undersea internet cables. Militarily, Batanes is an unsinkable aircraft carrier, perfect for monitoring Chinese movements and projecting power. For China, US allied forces in Batanes complicate any plans for Taiwan. The Philippines, encouraged by the US, is investing heavily in defense here. Batanes is now a front line in the US-China rivalry, its fate tied to global currents. The island's strategic weight is immense, far beyond their size. For centuries, fishermen sailed these waters in peace. Now they're at the center of a global contest. The world's eyes are on Batanes, a tiny province with outsized importance. Militarization brings both hope and fear to Batanes. New projects mean jobs and economic growth, young people can work at home, businesses are booming, but prosperity comes with risk. Military bases make Batanes a potential target. The fear of war overshadows new opportunities as warnings from China grow louder. The influx of outsiders is changing Ivatan society, noise, activity, and shifting traditions. Some embrace progress, others worry about losing their culture and control over their destiny. Traditional livelihoods like fishing and farming risk being sidelined. The community is divided. Is this the path to security, or a dangerous gamble? The Ivatan walk a tightrope, balancing progress with the peril of becoming a pawn in global power games. The stakes are personal and profound. The future is uncertain, and every decision carries weight. In Batanes, progress and peril are two sides of the same coin. Batanes' transformation is driven by a revitalized US-Philippines alliance. The 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty and Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement have brought new urgency and investment. The US is funding upgrades to airstrips and ports, aiming for seamless military cooperation. Joint exercises like Ivatan now include Batanes, simulating real-world defense scenarios. Advanced US equipment, drones, defense systems, modern aircraft are being deployed. For the US, a stronger Philippines means a more stable Indo-Pacific. For the Philippines, it means a powerful ally in a dangerous neighborhood. Batanes is now a symbol of this deepening partnership. The Ivatan people are proud, anxious, and divided. Some see the military presence as necessary for defense and economic opportunity. Others fear being caught in the crossfire, haunted by memories of past wars. quiet doubts linger. Does the US alliance make them safer or more of a target? The Philippine government insists the upgrades are defensive, meant to protect sovereignty. Economic benefits are highlighted, but so are reassurances of peace. China, meanwhile, warns the Philippines not to get involved in the Taiwan issue. Beijing claims the US presence stokes regional tension and puts Batanes at risk. The warnings are direct. In a conflict, allied outposts like Batanes could face serious consequences. The Ivatan live with this uncertainty, their fate shaped by decisions far beyond their shores. The tension is palpable, the future unclear. Batanes stands at the intersection of hope, fear, and global rivalry. Batanes is a high-stakes tightrope. One misstep could spark disaster. More military activity means more risk accidents, confrontations, escalation. China could respond with aggressive patrols, drills, or economic pressure. The threat isn't just military. Trade and diplomacy are at stake. If conflict erupts over Taiwan, Batanes could be among the first targets, drawing in the US. The stakes are global, not just local. Peace in the Indo-Pacific may hinge on what happens in these small islands. The future of Batanes is being written in concrete, alliances, and uncertainty. Will it remain a bastion of culture or become a permanent garrison? The Ivatan hope for safety, prosperity, and respect for their heritage. Their resilience is tested by the storms of geopolitics. For strategists, Batanes is a critical node. For its people, it's home. The world's attention is both a shield and a spotlight. Batanes is now a symbol of the new front lines, where geography is destiny. The challenge: preserve identity amid overwhelming change. The winds carry whispers of an unwritten future. Promise and peril intertwine. The world hopes for peace, but the people of Batanes must wait and watch the horizon.